Okay, we're recording. So I just actually, well, I guess for anyone that is watching us on the recording, I just said that I'll definitely record this so that everyone can have access to all the information, even if you have something else going on. But we're just going to kind of round table this. So I've got some notes and things to share, but told everyone just chime in and feel free to post in the chat or unmute yourselves. This is no formal thing. So like I said yesterday, I want to show you guys these super cool dorky things that I made, because I'm definitely going to screenshot all of our volume together every single month. But I made this for myself. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says Director 3 or Platinum 3 and Director 3, and it's basically just like the little thermometers that are showing like where we have to go. And I'm going to tape them up on my like desk thing over here so I can color them in as we move up. I did this the month that I hit Platinum 2, and just weirdly mentally it was very satisfying to be able to color in things. So if anyone else wants to do it for themselves, what I just basically did is divided up the number of lines by my goal, and I'll just color them in as I go. So I'm taping these up for our team and then for Platinum 3 today. So the reason that I just kind of sporadically will be hopping on these, thanks Kate, hopping on these Zooms with you guys is so that we can all collectively hit our goal as a team, but also just to, I almost didn't do it because we have so much training available to us. Like I just posted in our chat, like between John Melton and Marina Simone and like Tanya Eliza and Julie Burke and Amber Duluth, like we're never hurting for information to grow our business. But sometimes it just helps to be like, okay, I'm going to learn this right here and now. And then when you're like just feeling itching to look at something, there's a slew of recordings. So I don't want there ever to be an excuse like, oh, I didn't have the information that I needed. So that's why I want to do these. And tomorrow night, what did I say tomorrow we were going to do? Oh, like how to start conversations in Messenger without being an obnoxious robot. How to follow up through Facebook Messenger, and just really talking about like taking it off your wall and behind the scenes kind of thing. But this is more of like how to get them into your inbox and how to get them asking for information. So I'll go through the notes that I have, but like I said, feel free to interrupt me. And then if you, we can of course do like specific questions and stuff after, and this will just be very like cash, whatever. So first thing I wanted to talk about is I think what a lot of times we underestimate on Facebook. Can you guys see me okay, by the way? I feel like I'm really flushed out, but maybe I'm just being paranoid. Okay, is that better? Okay. I know that I might just be pale because I have on like literally not a stitch of makeup, but that's okay. So I think what we underestimate a lot with Facebook is obviously what we post is super important, but Facebook cares just as much about what you post as who you interact with. Like one is not more important than the other. So your interactions on Facebook are actually going to dictate what you get, the reaction you get on your posts, sometimes more than the actual post itself. So I had a couple of tips to get more interactions, not only on your posts, well, I guess, yeah, get more interactions on your posts. So I can't remember where I heard this tip. I don't want to take credit for it. I want to say it was maybe Justin Prince, but it's a great tip. And I have started doing this, and it really has helped me get more views and interactions and stuff. Okay, so before you make a Facebook post or before you go live, I go through your newsfeed and actually comment on 10 people's posts. 10 people's statuses, not the same person 10 times. Like if you scroll through your newsfeed, you should see at least 10 posts, even if it's something so super dorky and silly that you can just be like, haha, that's hilarious. Like comment and give 10 people a notification from you before you go live or before you make a Facebook post. And then you want to do the same thing after you go live and after you make a Facebook post. Obviously, I'm not doing that right now after my last live video. But because what that is going to do is think of the Facebook algorithm, like dun, dun, dun. Think of the Facebook algorithm as like almost like a scorecard. Like it's like a tennis match, and Facebook is taking score. And so every time you interact with someone on their post, Facebook is like giving you points. And so when you make a post, Facebook is looking at your points and they're saying, do we want to show this or not show this? And of course, there are so many things that go into it, right? There's like clickbait words, there's, copy and pasted images and stuff like that that can affect the post itself. But first, you could have a perfect post, but if your interactions are like nada, then it's not going to show as much. So if you have time to make a Facebook post, you have time to comment 10 super quick, easy comments in your newsfeed. Now, another thing to look at, we all love each other and we are a fantastic, wonderful team army of people. However, if the majority of the posts that you scroll through when you're looking for your 10 are people from our team or their Modare reps or whatever, we can love each other from a distance. I'm not saying to unfriend them, but I'm saying to unfollow or snooze them. And if you love the content that they're posting, you can still make it a point to like search them and look at their Facebook. I'm not saying unfriend them completely, but if you're only interacting, if whatever you're seeing in your newsfeed, that's who's seeing your stuff. So if all you're seeing are all of us on this Zoom, like I said, even though we love each other so much, we're all already sold on the products, right? So you want to make sure that the people that you're seeing are not each other. So there's an option on Facebook even where you can snooze people. You don't have to unfollow them completely. You can just unfollow. What I try to do, at least for me, because I hate to unfollow everybody on the team, but I'm also trying to grow my business too. So what I like to do is I go through the members section of our chat, and that's where I go through and click on everybody's profile and then comment and share and see, so it's not coming up in my news feed, but I'm still going and looking at it. So that's what I like to do, because maybe you're thinking to yourself, like, that's actually where I get a lot of ideas for my posts, right? You can still go look at their stuff, but you just want to make sure as you're scrolling, it's potentials, essentially. Make sense? Like I said, interrupt me if you have any questions or anything. So another thing that helps with your algorithm is not to post, and this is new, like Facebook is changing all the time, and they used to tell us to post every 2 hours, right? Every 2 hours, post something so that you're in people's news feeds and in their faces, right? Well, now with the changes through Facebook, if you post something within at least 3 hours of another post, Facebook is like panics, and they're like, wait a minute, which one am I supposed to show? So make it a rule for yourself not to post something at least 3 hours before you posted something before. And where I run into a problem is like this weekend, I was on vacation. Like I had great posts to share all the time. I had pictures of the kids. I was going out to eat, and I was like, oh, I just posted something. So use the Facebook stories. Like if you want to actually share what you're doing real time that day, post it to your Facebook stories, and people are still going to see that. That's not going to affect your post. But if I was to post in real time everything I wanted to post or share throughout the day, I would be posting every hour. So I use the stories function to share when I'm drinking my Revitalize, to share when I take my trim if I haven't already, you know what I mean? So that way I'm in people's faces still, because you guys know how you see the stories pop right up. Anyways, I can beat that to death. So yeah, so don't post something if you see that it's been at less than 3 hours since you posted something before, but you want to really share it, or it's like you're going to forget later, or it's a cute picture of your kid, or it's something, post it to your Facebook story. And that was the other thing I was going to say, is you should post at least once a day to your story anyways, not because it's necessarily going to it's not so much about posting something that's like, hey, reply to this story for info, right? It's because your name is going to pop up, people that you may not be in their news feed. Facebook still has to show them your story, right? So posting it on your story at least once a day, even if it's like a picture of you driving to work and like the road in front of you, like happy Wednesday, because your name is going to show up on all of your friends' news feeds in the little circle. So that's just to get seen. So the next thing yeah.
Sorry, I hope this isn't a dumb question.
No,
but how do you post to your story? I don't think I've done that before.
Not a dumb question. I have an iPhone, so if this is wrong for someone that has an Android, you can totally correct me. So if you look at all these circles up here, right here, here's a plus sign. It'll say add to story, and you can actually take a picture like real time, or if you go to this button right here, it'll pull up your camera roll. And the other, say you've already added to your story and you want to add something new, you can also swipe that way and it's going to pull up the same screen. So
Okay.
if someone has an Android and that is not correct, you can totally chime in and correct me, but that's how I've always done it. So yeah. And then another thing, and well, I'll just give you guys a little extra tip, but I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow. I use stories all the time because that's how I start conversations with people in their inbox. I just reply something to their story. So we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow, but stories is a really, really useful tool. Like, I really believe that pretty soon Snapchat is just not even going to be a thing anymore, you guys. Like, there's no reason to Snapchat anymore because we have filters, we have stories, we have whatever. Unless you're sending nudes and you want them to disappear, like, you really have no need for Snapchat, right? Because that's the only thing, is that the conversations disappear. So stories are amazing. And another way to get interaction is to not right away. It doesn't have to be as soon. So say you post something, say you post a really simple yes or no question, right? Coke or Pepsi? What do you like better, Coke or Pepsi? Probably as soon as you post that, you're going to get like 4, 5, 6 comments. Like, you'll get comments kind of instantly. When you start to see your comments sort of slow down, oh my God, I'm not even reading these questions. I'm so sorry. There's an app for the Facebook story. Is a camera. Oh, I didn't know that. That's really good to know, Caitlin. So I guess there's an app for Facebook stories. Sweet. Oh yeah, I did read that the Instagram stories go to Facebook. I haven't. You guys know how old school I am with Instagram. I don't even have my Instagram and my Facebook linked yet.
Can I add to that real fast?
Yeah.
You have to set that up. Like, you have to make sure that it's set up before you post that story, like, to automatically do it. So that if you want your stories from it, because I did that the other day and it made it so much easier because I posted to my Instagram stories all the time.
There's a button that if you take the picture on Instagram, like on your Instagram story, it gives you like an option to send it to certain people, and right underneath your Instagram story it says Facebook story.
Okay, yeah, I got mine set up on automatic just because, so I won't forget.
Well,
yeah.
I remember.
Okay, cool. I didn't know it did that too.
I used to have my Instagram, like my actual posts, linked before stories was even a thing. And if I posted it to Instagram, it went to Facebook. But then I remember reading on a training that sometimes those don't get as much visibility. But again, that was like 2 years ago, and Facebook is very different now. So
I read something earlier too that said people are more likely. I was reading up on algorithms before we did this, and I just wanted to say it before I forget. I was reading earlier that more people are likely to see something you liked than they're actually going to see a post. So they'll like see that you liked. So have you noticed that in your Facebook feed? So it said something about liking your own posts, like your video, and that people are more likely to see your live video or your post if you like it. And it could always, I mean, if you're self-conscious about it, people could, if I've seen people do that in the past, I think, oh, they meant to like a comment and accidentally like their photo or whatever. But it brings your attention to it. So it said people are more likely to see what you like. So like your own stuff.
Or you could always even do it after you already have 2 likes, because then no one's even going to see that technically you liked it unless they're that crazy and want to click on it and see who's liking your stuff, right?
Yeah. but they're more likely to see stuff you've liked than stuff you've posted.
And if your stuff is public, that just reminded me I have to message somebody, because I had someone comment on my status or on one of my before and after pictures asking for information, and we're not Facebook friends. She doesn't follow me. She found it because one of her friends liked my before and after picture. And for some reason it went her newsfeed, Amy so-and-so liked this picture, because we had a mutual friend, and that's the only thing I can deduce is that she saw so-and-so liked it. So yeah, likes will pop. Or if you're tagged in your own photo, like say you post a before and after picture, or you post a selfie with a product, or you post whatever, tag yourself in the photo, because showing that you've been tagged in something comes up in the algorithm too. So what I was I'm going to say about like commenting back on your own stuff is that if people are, the only reason you need to comment on your own stuff is when there's like a lull. So if you're like can't even say it's like a simple easy status like Pepsi versus Coke, right? you're probably going to get notifications popping up, regularly. If it's been more than an hour since you've gotten a comment, then go back, and not to the dot, you know what I mean? Like, we all have a life. But if you're like getting notifications every 5 or 10 minutes, Facebook is clearly still showing your stuff, right? So if you want to basically reignite your post, then start replying to the comments, and then it's going to boost it back up through. Because if you reply right away when someone comments, it hasn't gotten time yet to not go through, no, I think I would do it too. There are some times where I'm like, hey, Chris, take a picture of this and post about it, please. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, take a picture of these kids, tag me in it. But, so no, I don't think that's bad at all. And how can you see who is following you? You have to actually set I actually had to turn on followers. There's a way that you can turn on for people to follow you. You'd have to Google it because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know I Googled it. And so when you click on you're on your Facebook page and you click on About under your stock photos. So About right there. Mine's loading because my Wi-Fi can't handle Netflix, Zoom, and my phone at the same time. Excuse me. So when it's listing all your stuff here, it'll say followed by 49 people. So there's 49 people that follow me. And once they become a Facebook friend, they're not my follower anymore. But so when you turn on your follow alert, so if you allow people to start following you, basically, what happens is when they send you a friend request, even if you don't accept it right away, it instantly makes them follow you. So like there have been people from Modere that have sent me friend requests, or people that maybe this is judgy, I don't know. Like I know that they're maybe not the type of person I want to connect with, you know what I mean? But even if I don't accept the friend request, I know that they are still following me because Facebook automatically has them follow you just when they send you the friend request. So turning your followers on, and your followers will see everything you post except for anything that you set to friends only. And part of why I'm a little more picky about who I let be my friend is because, you guys know I have a psycho ex situation. And so like if Jordan's face is on any of my posts, it's set to friends only. But everything else I post is public, just so that, no psychopath breaks a 10-year restraining order and shows up at our house. Right. So, but that's if I didn't have that, I would post about her all the time because that girl would be she's a huge part of my brand. But what were we even talking about before that? Followers, following you. So yeah, but if you Google it, how to turn on followers, it's really easy. It's just something in your settings. So I had mine off and I didn't even realize it. So that's that. So let's talk about like content for a second, like what you're posting, right? Like, cause that's the gist of it. That's funny, Kelsey. I just saw your comment. The idea behind quality like content is to wrap your head around it. This is piggybacking on like personal brand and all of that kind of stuff, but you want to start making posts that people are going to look forward to what you have to say, whether it's educational, whether it's funny, or whether it's super emotional. Like I've just lived a lot of life in the last almost 28 years. And so I can share really vulnerable, emotion evoking posts. You know what I mean? Like, and it gets a lot of interaction and people look forward to hearing that, like, my story into words. But like I could never, Caitlin went live today and made cauliflower pizza crust. I could never do that, but I know just as many people would be interested in something like that. So it's really what is your niche that, people are going to be looking forward to be like, oh, Amanda just posted something. What is she saying now? And so that's where we have to like have the fine line of like, our business versus our personal life. You don't want to pretend on one post that you don't have a business, but at the same time, we all know what it's like to be spammy, or we've seen people be spammy, and that's what we're avoiding. So a lot of you guys might think that I'm just super funny and really witty with what I post. I'm not exaggerating to you. Probably 70% of like any kind of funny joke or some mom life thing, not all of it, but some of it. I have Googled funny mom memes, and rather than posting the image, I type it as if it was my own original thought. And like there's like, I'm trying to think of an example of one. Like, I made a post one time that was like, here's how I make iced coffee. I make coffee, I take care of my children, I come back 2 hours later and my coffee is cold. I didn't actually come up with that. I found it in a Google image, but I posted it and people thought it was hilarious. So I'm not saying like don't be original and authentic, but I'm saying like a lot of us have a sense of humor. Just instead of sharing something funny that you see, I mean actually clicking the share button on something funny that you see, just make it your own post, like and do that, because like I now a lot of the hijinks that I post about, I literally have gotten myself into, or like am actually receiving like zit videos from my mother, or like there are things like funny things like that that happen to me. But if it's like I just want to post something funny about hump day, Google hump day memes or hump day jokes, find one that's hilarious and just share it. Like either if it's an image, I guess you could post the image, or if it's like an actual joke, just type it out yourself and put one of the little Facebook colors on it. You know what I mean? And then people are gonna be like, oh my God, Nikki's so funny. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so that's just a little secret of the behind the scenes thing for you guys. So, and then the other thing I like to do is if I think of like a couple really good posts and I'm like, I posted like an hour ago, but this would be something really funny to share, or a hilarious story I want to post about. You guys, my notes section of my phone is just filled with post ideas. So, you know how they say, like, if you want to like write a really angry letter to somebody, write it out and just throw it away. Don't send it. That's what I do with posts a lot of the time. And so whenever I'm like, I want to post something and you know, I don't have something off the top of my head, I've gone back through, maybe a couple days ago, I wrote a really great post about overcoming adversity and being able to be a mom. You know what I mean? Like I didn't post it at 10 p.m. on a Monday night. I typed it in my notes section and I'm going to save it for later. So use that. So if you like, say you want to post something, but you're like, oh, I can't post it right now. Just type it and then copy and paste it for later. I do that with a lot of before and after pictures as well, which I'm going to mention in like a second. What I do is I save the text from a post. So say I'm in Simple Clean Results, right? I literally will copy and paste the post just so that later on I know how many pounds, how many months it was. I always change up the wording, but later I want to know what her lifestyle changes were, stuff like that. And then, so say she was wearing a pink bra, right? I'll copy and paste the post and then I'll type in pink bra and save the photo in my camera roll, so that later, if I need to post a before and after, I already have something ready that I can tweak. I can find the lady in my phone in a pink bra, as weird as that is just saying out loud. I didn't think about how that would come out. So find the pink bra in my camera roll, and then I have a post. So, you know, using that, maybe there might be a better app for that, but yeah, Kelsey says she screenshots them. That's a good one too. And then it's already there. I did that for a while and then I stopped I couldn't remember which photo was for which person. So that's when I started like writing the descriptions in there, but screenshotting them works really well too. So Nikki and I were talking about this last night, and it was about how to personalize before and after photos if they're not photos of you. So we did a whole Zoom on this, I feel like a couple weeks ago, this phrase at least, how like facts tell and stories sell. Have a hard time finding ones that can be shared. So Caitlin, I mostly get them from the M3 Pledge community. I get a lot from there because I feel like there's more people in there. I'm really picky about before and afters that I use, just because I have a lot of really vocal people on my page that'll be like, she's sucking in, you know what I mean? So like I actually will scroll through, I don't look through the wall of M3 Pledge. I actually look through the photos, and I find a photo that I like and then take the post from there. And Simple Clean Results does have a lot of good stuff in it. M3 Pledge is for everyone in Modere, and so it's a lot more people. So I just feel like there's more stuff. But yeah, the only exception, what she's saying, is ones that can be shared. You're basically open to share anything you see in the Facebook groups, unless it says, please don't share outside of this group, because customers do post in there too, and maybe they don't want their, image all over Facebook or something like that. So I scroll through photos until I find one that I like, and then take the post from the photo. And what were we talking about? Oh, about personalizing before and after photos. So I like to also find something in the original post that I can relate to. So if it was someone who was saying, even something as simple as, like, I made a post today from someone who, it was a 7-month, like, before and after photo. And so I didn't say this, but what you could say is, like, I remember I struggled for more than 7 months to try to get the weight off, and being able to see results like this, it encourages me to keep going with my journey, or something like that. You know what I mean? So kind of relating, or maybe they have, something really dramatic like PCOS or hypothyroidism. If you can relate to that, I would absolutely share that in every post that you have, especially if the program is working for you. But maybe they mentioned in the post that they couldn't stop, they didn't give up carbs. And you could say, like, you guys know I love my pizza, and I can't believe that, Deanna dropped the weight and didn't have to give up carbs. Like, that's saying something little about you, which is just more of like, it's just relating it back to you, or something that you think is great, or something that you admire about the person that lost this weight. Even if you're just saying how it made you feel, like, it made me feel so good being able to see someone try products that are finally helping them after trying so many other things. Stop it. Sorry. Who else can relate to that? You know what I mean? So it's just, a lot of the before and after pictures that I post are, like, really simple, like stats, drop whatever for info. But it's because I do post a lot of lengthier posts too. So I kind of mix it up. But at the bottom, the bottom line is just really making someone thinking about, how am I trying to say this? Looking at it how someone else would read it, and making them think that you're actually sharing information with them, not trying to make them order a product from this post. You know what I mean? So it's really more them reading it and being like, oh, wow, not like, oh my God, another one of them. You know what I mean? So it's really more about, like, again, quality, emotion evoking. You don't have to make them cry, okay? But, like, just something that's more like, this is more than just a sales pitch. And another tip, I think it was Amanda, you and I were talking about this, is I don't ever ask who wants to order this. I always say, drop a blank for information, or drop a blank to find out what she's doing, or to get details, because people aren't going to drop something and commit to buy it, but they'll be curious enough to get the details on what it is. And so that's always my, like, call to action is.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you did that for me earlier. So then when I posted my before and afters, I'm gonna look at what I posted. Sorry guys. I put, my comment was, if you want info on what I'm doing to change my life, comment I want in. And I got none of the people that messaged me commented on the photo. None of them liked the photo, and every single one of them messaged me and said, girl, what are you doing? I want in. So that worked so much better than the what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Like, and that was actually kind of, like, leads really well into my next thing, which is, like, literally the best thing that you can do is share your own story. And it doesn't have to be a huge, like, weight loss transformation. Like, obviously that's huge and awesome, and people, like, want to believe that you're using it too if you have weight loss goals, right? But even just sharing, like, that you are using a new dish soap. Like, how many times do people share the stupid, you probably saw me rant about this on one of my Facebook lives, like the, like, FabFitFun or, like, the Stitch Fix. Like, people want to use the same foot soap that you randomly got in a FabFitFun box, they're going to want to know about some brand new crazy essential oil dish soap if they can get a $10 off code. You know what I mean? So like sharing, even just with the cleaning products or with, probiotics are huge. There are so many amazing things that can come from probiotics that aren't visual that you can share, right? I mean, headaches and digestion and your skin and your mood. I mean, no one can argue if probiotics have improved your mood, and they do. You know what I mean? So really finding your spin on sharing a product. I can't tell you, I get 10 times more of a response sharing my own stuff than I do a week's worth of before and after pictures. And I'm not saying not to post other before and after photos, because what that does is it keeps you in their mind. But also, I like to post a variety of body types, because someone might see your before and after photo over and over again, and they're like, oh, well, she's already smaller than me, or she, whatever. But then you post a different body type, and people are like, oh my God, that looks like me. I want to look like the right side of that. So it's still good to have a mix. But what really gets a lot of people off the fence is maybe they've seen all these photos and then they see you personally smoking what you're selling, right? And then they're like, all right, I'll give it a try. So
I'm so sorry to keep interrupting, Amanda.
Oh no, it's totally.
Okay. I was gonna say, I also had someone today who messaged me on my videos, on my lives. I go live every single night, and on one of my lives, I was talking about I wasn't wearing any makeup, and I was like, and I just casually mentioned this cleanser, has cleared up my face, whatever. And one of my clients or customers today messaged me. She's like, hey, I'm so excited. I got my stuff a couple days ago and I started it, but I wanted to order that cleanser you were talking about. And I'm like, oh, awesome. I've loved it. I was like, actually the exfoliator and the hair care stuff is getting here on Friday. It is arriving at the house on Friday. Woohoo. And she goes, oh, exfoliator. Oh, can you add that too? So just like, literally just
absolutely talking about I can.
Yes, it was like, sure thing. Oh, so guys, we can add that to our list. I put in a cleanser and exfoliator tonight. So but yeah, so just I've gotten so many more from just being like, oh, this is what I'm using, and mentioning it casually.
Yeah, well, I don't want to forget to say this, but Caitlin commented, so I heard that if you put comment this or drop this below, or versions of that, it will lower your algorithm. So the words that they don't like are like this, share this, comment. So comment, now I haven't heard anything too negative about drop, but you could probably put like a show me this emoji for info, or show me the number 2 for info. So the clickbait, they call it, is like share, like, comment. If they see those words in it, Facebook knows what we're up to, and so it doesn't show that in the news feed that much. So just those like kind of keywords. But I still see a lot of other people using drop below. That doesn't necessarily mean that that they're right in doing that. But yeah, basically something along the lines of telling people to comment without saying the word comment. So you can put like another one I've used before is oh no, that has the word drop in it too, doesn't it? Show me, can't you share? Show us your favorite emoji, or show us, I guess it depends on if it's a before and after photo or if it's like an engagement post. But yeah, so basically I know the big keywords are like, comment, share. Facebook will already like kind of be like, next, we know what you're up to. But yeah, casually mentioning, and the other thing too, you guys, I'm not like, someone who has, well, actually that's not true, because I know Nikki uses the BioCell skin for her like more like severe skin stuff. But like our cleanser is what, someone correct me if I'm like, it's with the $10 off, it's like $11, right, for a customer. Like that's like a drugstore. Like that's like Neutrogena at the store with half the chemicals. So like, don't feel bad if someone is like, maybe they're getting BioCell or they're getting M3 and Trim. hey, would you want me to throw in a cleanser for $10 if you've already told them the price before the $10 off? You know what I mean? Or something like that. So I think
Body bars.
what? Oh,
Body bars almost always sell because you can say they're like $3 a piece. It comes in a pack of 3, so it's like $9 extra. So I have had a lot of success with the body bars. They're super cheap.
And I've been waiting for them to come off back order. This is kind of off on a different tangent, but like is Terry on here? No, Terry's on vacation. But I made the $12.99. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, people spend $200 a month on their skincare sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's just like crazy. But I made up these 2 really cute, adorable images. You guys know I'm like a Pixar graphic crazy person. So I made up these images. I made up all of these Smart Ship and Save collections for like a new baby and then a new baby plus. So it has like the laundry soap and the dish soap for washing bottles and the wipes for wiping down the sink and the body bars for the skin and all this stuff. And the dish soap and the laundry and fabric softener are still on back order. So I'm like waiting for those to come off back order, and then I'm pushing these like so hard. So as soon as that happens, I will I'll share them with you guys. But yeah, like, so some of that stuff I just like having that as an option for people. So I don't know how I went off on that tangent, but yeah, just I think it was because you said, Amanda, in a live, you like offhand mentioned the cleanser, and like, yeah, it's just something so easy. So that's like a little bit about before and after photos. Another thing too, you guys, even if you were to post a before and after, I've seen this done a lot, maybe find a picture of you a year ago. Like you could take a selfie right now where you look youthful, your skin looks great, your hair is done, and maybe you see a picture of yourself a year ago where you still like look nice, because obviously most of the time you don't post it on Facebook if you are totally opposed to how you look in it, right? But sharing a before and after picture about like you can't see the difference in these two. You may not be able to see the difference in these 2 photos, but let me tell you about the girl on the left a year ago versus where I am now. I'm like just emotionally, maybe internally, physically, maybe your skin, maybe your digestion, maybe, you know what I mean? So like, just because you may not have a weight loss before and after picture doesn't mean you can't share different transformations, literally inside out, head to toe. And just, again, it's all about like telling a story and invoking some kind of emotion. So don't feel like you get hung up on before and afters as just weight, because like I said, granted, that's great, but because I mean, that's just the time that we're living in. But it could even be, you could, it would be funny. And I just thought about this, and maybe I'll do this in the next couple of weeks. Take 2 pictures of like your kitchen, right? And literally like, they don't even have to look any different. Like one on the top, one on the bottom, be like, who can tell the difference in the top photo and the bottom photo? And the bottom photo, quote unquote, being like, oh, I just actually removed 29 chemicals from all of these surfaces, my dishwasher, my sink, my whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like things that like, that's a good one. Oh, I'm writing that down for later. But yeah, so just, it doesn't have to be that. Not all of us will have been able to say we lost like 50 pounds or what, you know what I mean? So, so really more of a before and after of your story, whether it's internal or external. The other thing is a really good, like I like to stick to at least 3 things throughout the day. And you guys will probably notice this on my Facebook. I post something that gets a lot of responses, like opinions, and not political opinions, not controversial opinions. Don't be like, do you believe in a heaven or hell? Or like, so did you vote for Trump or Hillary? Like just that, I mean, yes, you'll get a lot of comments, but like, just don't do it. Okay. So not political or controversial opinions, but like today I posted 2 things about meals and I got a ton of comments. So like, I think I posted, what do you have for breakfast? What's an easy dinner? Another like you could even Google either or questions, and there's a huge list of things. Like, how do you take your coffee? Simple things like that. It's just so weird how people love to give their opinion on it. But one thing I've noticed, if that's all, this is why it's all like one kind of nice mix, and why I wanted to just do all this, just focusing on posting, is because it all kind of blends together. So if the only thing that you're posting is questions, people are going to be like, they're giving to you, but you're not giving to them. So that's why we have to post content they're looking forward to, And then in return, they're going to tell us how they like their coffee in the morning. You know what I mean? So if all it is getting feedback from people, after a while, they're going to be like, what am I getting from this page? You know what I mean? Whether it's inspiration, jokes, whatever. So finding a happy medium there. But then even if you post, so opinions and interaction posts, but then another thing is like posting a photo of your kids, your dog, your cat, your dinner, your yard, your something that you can tell a story about it. So it's very rare that I post a picture of my kids without, well, I shouldn't say very rare. I post pictures of them all the time, but majority of the time when I post a picture of Jordan and Andrew, or of Andrew, it's usually always followed up with like a quote or some sort of song lyric or something that's like, I can't believe I'm, you know, like I think I posted something the other day and I got so many Facebook messages, you guys, because a lot of you, if you were with me on my team when I was pregnant before, I went through I did not have a fun pregnancy, not physically, just mentally. And so there was a time where I was like, I don't want a boy. I don't want this kid. I don't want any of this. And so I posted something, just a picture of Andrew. And I was like, I can't believe I ever thought that I wouldn't love you. If any of you are going through postpartum or, you know, antepartum depression, I promise it gets better. Like sharing that little piece of myself, but I think it got almost 100 likes. I got 4 private messages about it. And it's something that I can actually genuinely carry on a conversation with someone about because I really lived it. You know what I mean? And so just even if you post a picture of like something around you or in your life, share something that are basically going to make people say, "Aw," you know what I mean? Like that's the best like technical way I know how to describe it. Like make them say, "Aw," you know what I mean? With like just your feelings and your stories. You know, maybe if it's like posting a picture of like your pet, telling the story about when you got them, like that is like that's a content that could be it doesn't have to be like a short thing. It can be something, you know, so people, again, I think I wrote this 7 times on this page, relate to emotions. So before and after is opinions and questions. Post about your kids, your pets, your life with a story behind it. And then who can guess what the last thing I'm going to say is? Go live. Going live affects your interaction more than anything else on Facebook. I'm not just saying that. It's a proven fact. John Melton will tell you that. Marina Simone will tell you that. Amber Duluth will tell you that. If you go live on Facebook, it gives points to everything else that you post at every other time, which is why I said Friday. If like I'm telling you this and you're like, oh my God, Amanda, like my balls just went back up inside my body, like I can't do it, I'll do a dual live with you on Facebook on, you know, this weekend. But it just really does make such a difference. And your live does not have to be you standing in front of a backdrop looking like a professional, whatever. Your live can be you sitting on your couch talking about something funny that happened today in traffic, or it can be showing how like you using the cleaning wipes and why you love that they smell so good and have no chemicals in them. Like it can be you showing what your skincare routine is at night. I mean, people who are watching these videos, whoops, almost flicked my pen. People who are watching these videos and know you, they don't care the professional quality of your video. You know what I mean? And Kelsey said she would go Facebook Live, and you so are as cool as me. Kelsey's almost cooler than me. She's like a Facebook Live natural. Nikki, I just saw your 3-way chat. I will definitely message in there when we're done. But so yeah, it doesn't have to be every single time that you're doing a live, it's some show-stopping thing. It's really the consistency of it, and it's just entertaining people. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Sometimes that's one thing I'm really insecure about is like, I feel like every time I go live, I have to say something that's like earth-shattering and inspiring, and like this has got to be a video that gets a ton of comments. Like, and that's just not the case. Like sometimes people just want to hear you chat about your life or chat about something. Kate is so right. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. I love that Kate has done this, and I think I'm going to start doing this. I think Kelsey did this for a while too, but like Transformation Tuesday, that's a really easy day to once a week go live and share your progress with whatever products that you're using. Even if you don't measure yourself every week, even if you don't weigh yourself every week, sharing how you're feeling, sharing different recipes, if you're doing M3, different recipes that you've tried with your shake, different meals that you've used to follow your lifestyle changes. Like, it's just so consistent. Like, people, like, I remember on Tuesday night, I missed a notification that Kate was live. And then I was like, oh my God, wait, it's Transformation Tuesday. You know what I mean? And like, so that's just something that's really easy and doesn't put a lot of pressure on you, and also does grow your business too. So if you ever need ideas of like, okay, I want to go live, I just don't know what to do, live video is, I don't ever toot my own horn very often, but like live video is my jam. Not because like I'm a whiz at it 24/7, but because it literally has it's expanded my network so much. And it's one of those things where I have stopped putting the pressure on myself, and I have fun doing it, and people have fun watching me do it. So if you're ever like, okay, all right, I want to go live, but what should I go live about? We'll just powwow and think of a live video. Like I tell you guys all the time, like our team is not so big that I can't just one-on-one help you guys with conversations and posts and videos and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, you know, I can't like make up a live video schedule for everybody, but of course I will like help everyone come up with stuff if they want it. So, so that's the notes that I have. What questions do you guys have? What, anything like specific, post questions? Like I said, we'll get really into like follow up and messages and stuff like that tomorrow. And like, what do you say to someone when they, whatever. But, Amanda, did you raise your hand? Oh, I always forget that function is even like a thing. I love it.
Yeah. I was going to ask, okay, I have two questions real quick. Number one, can people see when you follow them?
Yes.
So, like, they can? Okay. So not if you friend them, but if you follow them?
Yes, I think
because I've never gotten a notification, so I just don't know.
Well, if they friend request you, it doesn't tell you that they've also become your follower. But like, I remember I did a giveaway and they had to either be my friend or follower, and I would get a notification that someone had followed me. But if you're asking because like the friend request,
but like if you're already friends with them, if like you're friends with somebody and you unfollowed them years ago because they were annoying.
No,
okay.
If you're friends
Not
with them,
hateful, but
like, you know, like say like, I thought you were asking because like when we were talking about adding random,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
if you're not friends with them and you're just choosing to be their follower,
it'll let them know. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
My other question was, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it doesn't tell them when you unfollow them.
Okay. No. My other question was, if you are posting, like, I don't know if you know about, if you would even know this about your algorithm. If you are posting like in a group and you get a lot of likes on it, I'm trying to edit myself, a lot of likes on a post, is that going to up your algorithm for the rest of your Facebook or just in that group?
Likes, not so much, but comments, yes. Because
okay, so not likes, because I got like 350 likes on something I posted earlier, and I was like, does that help me? Or my okay, guys, I cheated though. My son's nursery is a Harry Potter nursery, so I posted pictures of it in a Harry Potter group, and it like blew up, and people were like tagging people in it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my God. So what I would do is reply back to all those comments of like the tags, or if it even which is a Harry Potter GIF.
Just smart.
And then if they comment back to you, then add them as a friend. And worst thing they do is not accept it. If they're getting 350 likes on a single post and the group is not that big, that they'll kick you out for sending friend requests. Because I've been in like small groups before where like they're just so funny about salespeople. That's why I always make sure there are comments back and forth. But that's what, like, whenever I post something really generic, if it's not something that I can respond back to with an actual thought, I just use a GIF that relates to the group, like my Grey's Anatomy.
Smart. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, sweet. What else? Mary Kate's got more easier it becomes. Do you guys have any other questions or anything like that, or anything else exciting, or anything that has worked for you, or a tip that you know that you want to share? One thing that I have learned before is I like to post something at night before bed, because if it's something that's like super generic, like an either or question, or like a what did you have for dinner kind of question, or something that like is just super basic that people will answer, as people are commenting on your stuff overnight, so like Facebook is kind of keeping it, because a lot of people don't really post after like 10 o'clock. So if you post when you're going to bed, Facebook is like, oh, yay, we got something new. Let's show everyone. And so it's kind of building up engagement. It's like working for you while you sleep, basically. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're already kind of at the top of Facebook's list for engagement. Like for me right now tonight, I'm not going to post anything before I go to bed because I'm still getting comments from people about what they make for dinner. So that post is still working right now for me. And I went live. So I forgot that I went live. I did in such a blur. And I didn't even plan that out tonight, you guys. I was just thinking about it, and I went off on a tangent, and I had 2 beers, so that didn't hurt either. So, so I won't post something tonight before I go to bed because Facebook is still working for me. But if I hadn't posted since maybe 6 or 7, I would post something tonight like red or white wine. You know what I mean? Like that's going to work all night. So
I asked for people's opinion on how to fall asleep. I just was like, hey, looking for ideas of how to turn my brain off at night. And guys, like 100 people were like, I was getting everything from essential oils to wine to certain books to everyone had an opinion about that one. So that's a great one to post before you go to bed.
Well, and that's one thing that I'm going to talk about tomorrow, and I'll elaborate on it. But like when I get stuff like that where it's like more than just a yes or no, I love to reply to the comment, but then I take it to a private message and just ask them more in depth, like elaborating, because then it starts a great conversation. But that's a different conversation, or that's a thing for tomorrow. There was one other thing I was going to say, and I just thought of it, and I lost it. What was I going to say? Shoot. Couldn't think of it. What did we just talk about before that? Facebook working for you while you sleep. If I think about it, I'll message it in our group chat. Shucks. Okay. I think anything else? Any other tips? Anything? What was I gonna say? I hate it when that happens. It drives me crazy. Oh well. Well, if you guys think of anything or anything you want to add, you can, of course, are welcome to drop it in our chat. I will get this. I'll post this recording up. Oh gosh, I have the back office training link that uploaded last night. I need to post that in our group. I'll post both of those tomorrow. So look how cute he is. Oh my goodness. Ugh. I swear, I wish you lived 12 hours closer because him and Andrew are so close in age. So freaking cute. I actually had to put Andrew's hair in a ponytail, a whale spout today, because his hair is getting so long, and Chris came home and he ripped it out. He was so mad. He was like, no, he's a boy. Anyways, tangent. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. I'll still be up a little bit longer. I got to catch up on my one other video I need to watch and do stuff, so I'll be awake. So hit me up if you need anything, and then we'll be back here tomorrow, and we're going to focus more about okay, so they commented they wanted information. What do I do? Or the topic of all right, how do I talk to people without kind of embarrassing myself or them obviously knowing I'm trying to sell them something, right? Because that's always prospecting, basically. That's the word I was looking for. All right, so have an awesome night, you guys, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure. Bye.